Hello everyone, Sigs here, and welcome to a Wailing Caverns run on a level 18 Troll Tanking Shaman in the World of Warcraft Classic Season of Discovery. So, this is the second dungeon I have tanked on this guy, first being a Ragefire Chasm, and I'm curious to see how they do in, slightly higher level dungeons. As far as dungeon leveling goes, we'll see how much experience we get and how long it takes. So we're just waiting on everyone to get here. Hopefully this isn't too long of a run, but while I wait, I figured I would just go over the build. So first of all, running Shield Mastery rune on the robe. So every time you block, it's going to give you 8% of your maximum mana and also give you armor, 30% of your shield's armor value, and increase your chance to block and increase your block value. So this is kind of the main survivability thing. Shamans don't have a lot of self-healing or anything like that. Obviously, we can cast Healing Wave on ourself, but that's like a long cast. There's really no passive healing, so it basically comes down to blocking for mitigation. And then on the legs, we are running Way of Earth, so this is basically going to increase our threat, increase our health, and reduce our damage taken, as well as turning our Earth Shock into a taunt. So we do have rank 1 Earth Shock on the bar, in case we just need like a quick low mana taunt, and then we have the rank 3 Earth Shock if we need it for damage. We'll see how the pulls go. Sometimes you can generate a ton of mana with the Shield Mastery and just like sling spells for extra damage to speed things up. Other times you have to be a little careful of your mana, as with most classes. And then lastly, we are rocking Molten Blast, so it'll hit up to 4 enemies in a cone, does pretty decent damage, does not take a lot of mana compared to some other spells, and it generates a high amount of threat. So that's going to be our main thing, to hold threat on everything. Flame Shock is also going to have a chance to reset the cooldown on Molten Blast. So basically the rotation is, pull with Lightning Bolt if you want to get a couple like free hits in for threat, and then use Flame Shock off cooldown on different targets so that you have as many instances of it ticking to possibly reset your Molten Burst, and then just Molten Burst off cooldown to maintain threat. Sometimes you can use Earth Shock just like for damage, just to speed things up. Other times I like to save it just to have an emergency taunt if needed. We do have our totems as well: defensive Stone Skin Totem, Searing Totem, or Fire Nova Totem for extra damage. We want to keep our Rock Biter on. We have our Lightning Shield. So this group looks like they are rearing to go, so let's just get right into it. We do have a level 25 Mage and a level 20 Hunter. Probably going to pull a lot of threat off of me, so we'll see how that goes. I think with the level 19 Warrior we should be fine, but I'm just going to get the first mob here, start dragging it down to the next one, and see if we can kind of get a read on how this group's going to do, if we'll be okay doing a 4 pull. So let's get our defensive totem down, let's start getting threat and all this stuff. Make sure we keep our Flame Shock up, melee. Get a Molten Blast there. Looks like we're holding threat decently well. Taking a good amount of damage, but we are getting healed. Mana's getting low now. Mage is not here, so somehow I am doing the most damage because that mage is not here. I was really counting on him to just kind of nuke down this pack, but alright, that went better than I thought. Obviously the start of the dungeon, everything's a little bit lower level, so it's probably going to get worse as we go. I am also a skinner. I don't want to like sit here skinning after every pull because it's going to be incredibly boring, but I am going to try to get some skins in, so let's go ahead and just do this 2 pull real quick. I get this guy to come over as well. Pretty low on mana, so I actually can't even Flame Shock this second target. There we go, now we can. Hoping for some blocks for mana, and Molten Blast refreshes. Not even going to throw totems down, because my mana's low. I could taunt that guy back, but he's almost dead, so I'm going to leave him be. Let me see if I could trouble this mage for some water. Jeez, L key, hard to hit apparently. Let's go ahead and greed that green. Oh, and we get it. Whole 10 silver, pretty nice. Not sure if this guy made enough water for all of us. I did bring some, but yeah, I'll try to use the free water, so let's just throw that on the action bar. And I guess we should be good for the next pull. We'll drink after, so okay. Gonna back up, LOS this, throw out Molten Blast, get our defensive totem down, and an offensive totem. Make sure we're meleeing. Need to taunt that guy real quick. I don't think I have threat on this either, but it looks like the Hunter Pet is tanking for me. 1 second on taunt. We can taunt that guy back. Try to just get it grouped up and faced away from the group. And that looks like the mage is doing the tanking for us on this one, so just the act of pulling all that stuff back, I wasn't really hitting it. So they kind of ripped threat right on the start there, but thankfully they do enough damage to where it's probably not going to matter. So this might not be the best showcase of what the tank can do necessarily, since I'm kind of getting carried by some higher level DPS, but just sneaking a quick drink in, and let's go for another kind of big pull here. Healer's back there drinking without a lot of mana, so kind of on my own here. Gonna use Earth Shock as an interrupt on that caster. Need to get aggro on this one. Let's see if I can kite the rest over on top. Once again, out of mana. No point in taunting if it's running away. Not going to cast anything because I want to save mana. This guy is immune to fire damage, apparently, so... Whoops. Guy behind us. Get rid of this guy. And then we'll probably sit and drink for a second here. Okay, let's go ahead and drink and let the healer know that we are not an absolute monkey. Okay, so, you know what? He's going to finish drinking for a second or two. I'm going to quickly skin. And good. There's just so much leather here. It's like hard to leave it on the ground. I know nobody wants to watch a run of somebody just skinning the whole time though, so let's run up, taunt this one thing. I'll just fight this one thing. I believe, yeah, boss is there with 2 raptors, maybe 3, so let's make sure everybody's good. Looks like they are. Oh. This guy doesn't have water. Hang on 1 second. So, just gotta make sure he has water. Everybody's good to go now, but I don't want to proceed with this dungeon if our healer's not gonna have anything. Okay, he's good. Alright, let's go. So, we're gonna start here. Hope the mage doesn't go too hard too soon. Get my totems down. Gonna just taunt this one to me. Come here. This taunt has to be in melee range, so having to run out and get him like that kind of stinks, but let's group it all up in the mage's fire. Let's keep it face backwards for the warrior so he doesn't get parried. Let's keep our flame shocks up. Let's make sure we're actually meleeing. I often don't have melee going when I run in. If you run in and cast flame shock, you're not going to automatically start meleeing. You have to like right-click the mob or, you know, hit your like attack keybind. So gotta watch out for that. Everybody's kind of okay on mana. My rock biter fell off a while ago. Not sure when that happened. Gotta pay attention to that. And I don't have any mana at all, so I'm just gonna, I guess, face pull this and kill it and then drink after. Just getting... I'm gonna taunt this guy. Just getting a handle on things here. That taunted absolutely nothing. Alright, there we go. So hopefully... Jesus, another one. I am not paying enough attention. I am very tired, and this is probably a horrible time to be doing this, but I wanted to record a Wailing Caverns since I recorded a Ragefire Chasm. So we decided to do it. Decent gun there. Not for me, but for somebody. Let's go ahead and drink. And just kind of catch our breath here. Make sure we're on top of everything. So these first few pulls I definitely wanted to explain a lot more kind of what was going on as we go here. The rotation now should be pretty evident, so probably don't need to explain every single thing, but we're good. We can clear the rest of that trash when we come back with the escort guys, so we can go ahead and go down to the other wing, the easy wing first. Hopefully these guys are coming, whatever they're doing back there. They're getting Serpent Bloom for their quest, it looks like. So, kill this non-elite guy while they catch up real quick. There we go. And just keep it moving. I really hate that I'm a skinner. I'm probably going to say that like 50 more times throughout this run, so hopefully that's not too annoying, but it's just, I just feel bad leaving free leather on the ground, but I also feel bad making everybody wait. It'd be a lot better if I was a DPS. They can go and start pulling stuff and get threat while I'm back there skinning. But as it stands, they're kind of waiting on me, so we will just try to skin as quickly as we can, because this is awesome, awesome leather. to make pretty good gear, which is something I forgot to go over as well at the beginning, just to show you my gear real quick. I do have quite a bit of crafted gear. I have this agility ring from the quest counterattack, I believe it's called, in the Barrens. And there's the talents, so it's just increased block chance and increased critical strike with weapon for threat. Basically all we're running. Let's taunt that guy. Let's bring him up to this guy and this guy. Get a defensive totem down, get an offensive totem down, start molten blasting for AoE threat. Taunt that guy in, I guess. And then keep molten blasting the whole threat. Make sure we are keeping flame shock up on as many targets as possible for molten blast resets. And there we go. It's going pretty well. Healer, I mean, everybody's like over-leveled for this besides me, so the healer's making me feel very comfortable. Being level 22, giving me great heals. I can cure poison on myself, so why don't I go ahead and do that. Forgot to make my mouse over macro for it, but we'll do that later. Let's go ahead and get, I guess, these 3. See if we can get it grouped up before they start going ham, which it looks like we can't. So let's try the AoE Taunt Totem here. See if that does anything just to get it off of our DPS and group it up. We'll taunt that guy. Just lost threat on that one. I am not meleeing again, so it doesn't help. Looks like there's one more little snake that's going to get pulled in, so I might as well just deal with that. Not doing the best job tanking right now, per se. If these guys would just give me, like, 2 seconds just to get everything, like, grouped up in a pile, then they could go crazy, and I probably wouldn't lose threat, but as it stands, they are not really giving me that chance, so I'm pretty low on mana here. These guys are wiggling, which is the universal indication that they are tired of waiting. But Mage is drinking anyway, so I'm going to drink. That guy's getting his Serpent Bloom, so I'd feel a lot better with mana, so there we go. Now, let's get this grouped up. And get the Viper that I can drag into the Druid, and then interrupt this one. Oh, he resisted. Done. Let's get our totems down for defense and offense. Let's make sure we're meleeing. And we have threat on everything except for this one, so let's taunt. Not doing the best job keeping our Flame Shock up. That rank 2 Flame Shock that I just got takes a lot more mana than the rank 1. It's partly why I'm out of mana. It may be worth using the rank 1, to be honest. That is almost an upgrade, but probably not quite. Looks like I won this chest. We're going to go ahead and open that real quick, see what we get. Probably get a supply crate that we can't actually pick up. Nope. Surprising. Sears belt cloth. Almost an upgrade. Not enough armor on it. But a little bit of intellect is fine for a bigger mana pool. It's not the go-to stat, but if I end up with some on some gear, it's not going to drive me crazy. I'm going to try some AoE here, so let's throw down Stone Skin Totem, whatever that one's called. Stoneclaw, see if that will keep them off of my Fire Nova Totem. And then if that Nova Totem would go off, yeah, you see, I did a lot of damage, so pretty decent AoE as long as you can keep that totem alive for 5 seconds. It does take quite a bit of extra mana, though, so gonna need a refresh Rock Biter here. Just do these 2. Oh, come on. Taunt that one back to me. Make sure we're meleeing, which I keep forgetting. Would love to interrupt that guy, but I don't have the mana. Damn, he resisted. Yeah, getting resisted on your taunt / interrupt feels real bad. There's a Serpent Bloom. Let's see if we could sneak that real quick. So I want to get that quest done. And this guy's just going to go. Don't really blame him since I am taking forever, but we can go ahead and get the next pull started. If I can get one block here, I can get my Fire Nova Totem down. I'm just going to leave him to deal with that one since he should be fine and he's only pulled it. Oh boy, getting a little sketchy here. Need to taunt this Viper. Don't have threat on the Pythons, but they are not that scary. That Ectoplasm is just doing his thing over there. Alright, worked out. So I just need to like sit and drink for a second here. But between the skinning and being the tank and everybody waiting on me, I just like feel like I don't even have a second to drink. So let's move up. Drink for just a second. If I had more water, I would just literally drink for like 2-3 seconds and then get up and go, but since I don't have a lot, I want to maximize them and have them like actually fill up my mana bar, so looks like Hunter's going to go on that guy, so let's start there. Oh boy, was that healer threat? Straight to the healer probably. Let's get back on this guy. have threat on these two. That guy's just doing his own thing. Oh god, lost threat, taunt back, bring it back into the fire. Would love to interrupt this guy and get him in the mage's fire. Alright, easy enough. Grab our loot and move on. Gonna look to do kind of a big pull here. They're not gonna wait. They're not gonna give me a chance to group any of this up, so it'll be harder to do. Get our totem down, get our Fire Nova totem down, start meleeing, which we should have been doing from the start. Let's get our defensive totem down. Lost threat on this non-elite python. I'm doing nothing here, man. I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to get threat on anything. Again, if I could just get it grouped up and just consistently hit it with Molten Blast, we'd be fine, but yeah, once I, don't have threat on something, it's a lot harder to get it back than it is to maintain it. So I'm going to need to cure that poison off myself, because that is starting to truck. So let's do that. Burn through our whole mana pool, but saves our life. Looks like healer needs to drink, so perfect time to get a little skinning in. Okay, except that we're in combat. So let's just taunt it. Do what we can as far as damage goes. And there we go. Nice frost spell chest there. Cloth, be good for a mage. And one more quick skin while they are drinking, and then I can drink. They probably hate me for going this slow. Doing okay damage. I mean, again, these guys level 25 and 21, way ahead of me, so I'm not going to be able to compete with them, but we're pretty much keeping up with the warrior. He's got a level on us and is a dedicated DPS class, so that's pretty good. Just lost that one. Gotta get it grouped up and get that Molten Blast on them very quickly before I just lose one to healer threat. That's not really the healer's fault, that one's on me. If the DPS just go crazy right off the start, that's kind of on them, but cannot let them be going straight to the healer. Alright, that takes care of that. Gonna need to refresh Rockbiter in just a second here. Alright, let's do it now, even though we're really low on mana. Now, let's see if this group will let me if I can just get it here, and then Molten Blast. Oh my god. And I have the mana for Molten Blast, and it all just goes straight back. I mean, if this is the way they want to run it, that's fine. It's not going to make for a good video showing what Shaman Tanking looks like, although I guess this is actually exactly what all tanking in Classic looks like. If your DPS goes crazy on the pull, then you're not going to be tanking much, so that is actually incredibly accurate, but not exactly what I wanted to showcase. If I could just get it grouped up and start hitting with Molten Blast, I can get everything grouped up in a nice pile and they could just melt it, which is going to end up being a lot quicker, The 2 seconds they have to wait for me to get it grouped up is going to save more than 2 seconds of running around and kiting and doing half damage and all that, so yeah, that's welcome to Mage, buddy. That's just the way it is. I'm tempted to pull this into the boss if everyone has mana, but you know what, screw it, let's go. Get it grouped up, get my Taunt Totem down, get my AoE Totem down, start meleeing, interrupt the boss. Gonna need to dispel myself, just don't have threat on anything, just immediately. Now let's get an offensive Fire Totem down. I would love to bring all this stuff back to the boss. Let's taunt the boss. Oops, with the adder instead. Whoever is tanking, it's just the mage. The mage is the tank. This video should be called How to Mage Tank, because I am sure not doing any of it. Yeah, that works out. Get our gem for our quest. Can stay here and just quickly skim this stuff while they run ahead. We are getting a decent amount of leather. It's really the medium leather that I want to continue to level leather working. Getting pretty close to max, so I don't need like all of it necessarily, but the more of it I can get to make better gear for myself, the better. But that's the first wing done. Already been 20 minutes, and this is like the short wing, so probably going to try to speed it up for this next wing. This next wing has a lot higher level enemies too, so that's where I was worried about, having trouble generating threat and everything. As it stands, I had a hard enough time just in the low level wing, so this might be a little rough, but it seems like these guys can handle themselves, honestly. If anything, I'm just along for the ride at this point, so let's grab the boss Kresh. See, all grouped up, Molten Blast. offensive totem down, defensive totem down, meleeing, keeping it in the mage's AoE, facing it away from the warrior. Should be flame shocking off cooldown, and then molten blasting every time it resets, and there you go. And no shield, bummer. That's still not a bad shield, just because it has so much armor, which is great with shield mastery. I just lose 2 stamina. I'm not sure if that's worth it or not. Probably is, to be honest. Screw it. I was hoping for the blue shield, but let's throw that one on. I'll keep the other one just in case I change my mind. Plus this one looks cooler, I think, so that's the deciding factor. I don't know how, like, the armor to stamina ratio translates, you know what I mean? Like, at what point, how much armor is going to save me from taking 2 staminas worth of damage from physical attacks, if that makes sense? What, like, the break point would be for that? But, you know, that seems like a lot more armor than the extra 2 stamina, so keep it moving here. Still trying to get these quests done, too. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all done in one run, but I get a nice chunk of XP at the end of this. I have, like, all of the quests, basically, right there, so there we go. Just killing these non-elites. I don't need to fight that one. I do need mana, though. I am seriously considering going back to rank 1 Flame Shock just because it's such an integral part of the rotation as far as, like, resetting your Molten Blast goes. But, I don't know. Rank 2's more damage. And I kind of need damage for threat, too, so something to be said for using either rank. I just feel like I'm losing a lot of mana. I need the shield blocks to get my mana back is the thing, and if I don't have threat, I'm not blocking, and if I'm not blocking, I'm not getting 8% of my maximum mana back every time I block, so we're definitely going to drink here. I see that everybody else is ready to go, but I need mana to be able to have any hope of tanking this, so if this guy could just hold his horses for 2 seconds, and let me get this grouped up. Gonna start with this one, gonna immediately get an interrupt on this guy, so that he starts moving over. And then we can do all this together. Yep, that guy's going right to the back. So this is awful, but trying to get it grouped up. Gonna get a defensive totem down. Gonna taunt basically off cooldown. We'll get an offensive totem down too. Let's get a quick taunt on this guy, and then I can bring these 2 back. I don't want to move him out of his flame. I'm asleep. Out of his flame strike there, but God, this mage is just trucking everything, huh? And I'm sleeping, and he's just soloing this dungeon, essentially. Just wonderful. Alright, well. Ooh, that might be an upgrade. What do we got? Nice, main hand, 10.9 with 6 attack power. That is a nice upgrade. That should help with the threat a little bit, so let's throw that on right away. Let's get a rock biter on it. Still recharging. Okay, there we go. Rock biter up, and again, I'd love to go kite these 2 into the other room, but they're not going to let me. Because as soon as I start running away with them, they're going to start hitting them, and I'm going to lose threat, and then have to run back and chase them. I don't want to do that, so just going to do the 2 at a time. Should probably be conserving mana. Hearing a lot of the blocks going off. Yeah, we're already up to 5 stacks, so that is a lot of extra armor. And a decent amount of extra mana that we got there. Let's drink real quick. Looks like Hunter might need to drink too. Priest is drinking. So maybe while they're drinking, I can go ahead and get everything grouped up. Keep while they're distracted with their waters. Here we go. Let's kick that one. God, he resisted. That stinks. That's kind of part of the problem being a lower level. There we go. Taunt that one. I don't think I have threat on that one in the back, but I have the rest of them, so let's bring these over. Lost that one. Taunt them back. Come back. There you go. They're all grouped up finally, and as soon as they are, I lose threat again. Taunt them back. Come back over here. Group it up. Mage needs to AFK after this, which, you know, it's not great for the speed of our run, but it'll actually be good because I can show you, you know, what the tanking's supposed to look like. So, gonna do a quick drink. sure my damage is kind of falling off. It's just if you can get it all grouped up and then just like keep your flame shocks up so you get Molten Blast refreshes and then just like spam Molten Blast, you actually do pretty good damage, I find, for a tank anyway. Not even for a tank, just like for anyone. You can kind of keep up with DPS on a lot of pulls, but if it's not grouped up, then you can't do that. So, well, that was weird how they walked backwards when I was trying to go through them, but easy non-elite pull. Let the mage AFK if he needs to. And what do we want to do here? These guys kind of truck a little bit if you're not careful, so... Alright, yeah. I was going to try to pull them through to the other pack, but again, if they're not going to wait, then I have to come back and chase them down. I'm not going to be able to do big pulls, so... what do we got here? If I can interrupt this guy... Oops, that's the wrong button. Let me wait for him to cast again. See, he resisted again. That stinks. That your interrupt could be resisted. Because if I could have interrupted him, then he would have started moving, and I could have just dragged him over to this guy. But we did get threat on those lashers, at least, with the single Molten Blast, which is nice. And we have threat on this guy, too, so it's going to heal. But it works out. Okay, nice little two-pull here, I guess. Come on, interrupt for once. Hey, we interrupted one. There you go. So now I can drag them together, and there you go. Look at how nicely they're grouped up, except that this mage is tanking again. It's not even really his fault. Like, he's level 25. He's just gonna do so much damage that he's probably gonna rip off me. Where it's his fault is just like not waiting, like literally like 3 seconds for me to just like group it all up into a pile, and then he could just like go crazy, do as much damage as he wants, and not have to like kite constantly and lose DPS from moving. So it's making it take longer by him being impatient, but as someone who plays a DPS and plays a mage, I totally get it. I understand how DPS brain works. You want to do big damage, you don't want to wait, I get it. Hunter's going to send his pet in to get started on this one, which is totally cool. He's probably doing a better job tanking than I am, to be honest, but we're going to get up in the mix. Might as well taunt it, so it seems like I'm doing my job. Get some shield blocks, maybe. I think he has pet taunt on. It seems like he taunted right off me immediately after. Looks like we can get a pretty good pull here. So again, if I could just get this interrupt right there. There you go. I can kite it all together. I don't know if that one flame shock's going to be enough to pull the big guy back to me, but let's go for the Stoneclaw and the AoE Totem again. Let's keep Molten Blasting off cooldown. As soon as the AoE Totem goes off, we'll do Defensive Totem. See, we're doing pretty good damage there. If we can just group it up and AoE it, you know, we kept threat pretty well until the end there. I lost threat on those two. But that's a little bit more what it should look like. Unfortunately, it did take our entire mana pool again, so it's just using these higher rank spells. I am often using, when I taunt, just an interrupt, just the rank 1 Earth Shock, but even the rank 2 Flame Shock, let alone throwing all these like big totems, is draining a lot of mana, so thankfully it doesn't take long to drink because we don't have a very large mana pool, but I get my Rock Biter back up and I just taunted, so I'm not getting threat back on this guy either. Should kick that heal. I didn't do it in time, which means I can now not taunt this guy back. So try to get threat back. Not even gonna happen. Mage is just tanking. Oops, I guess I didn't put Rock Biter back on. That might be why. So that is generating a lot of extra threat due to the Weight of Earth talent. Let's group all this up real quick. Yeah, that one just immediately runs away. I'm trying to get like proximity aggro on it and just have it follow me into the pile, but I can't even do that. Let's see if I can taunt it. Being this out of mana, not getting a Molten Blasts. Make sure I'm meleeing, I think, is a big part of the problem too. A lot of these pulls I'm just running around, I'm not even actually hitting anything. Come on, just finish that guy off. Mage is the tank. I have threat on these two, it's just that one, so let's taunt that. There you go, finally we have threat on everything on a pull. Yeah, there's another chest there, so let's roll for the chest. See who gets it. 96 is going to probably do it. Oops. I'll just fight this one by itself. I was going to try to pull it down there, but that guy's back there looting. I don't care if he needs it. What does it sell for? 4 silver? You can have it. And this guy evolved. Now he's immune to fire damage, so I'm just going to melee him down. Get a quick drink in. Get some Wailing Essence for our quest. I've not been paying attention to like Serpent Bloom and all that kind of stuff that I need to, but... so let's go here. Let's get thread on this one. Molten Blast, hit all 3. Wow, I didn't hit any of them. So let's get the Taunt Totem down. Offensive Totem. There's the AoE hit I was looking for. Make sure we're meleeing. I should probably get Defensive Totem down. So these little guys do slap. Not quite an upgrade. Decent legs, though. Okay, I always get lost here. That's the way up, so I think we want to go this way first. Another chest, too. Getting pretty lucky on these chests. Now, let's see if these guys would just give me, like, 3 seconds. Look, start on this one. Come down here. AoE smash. There you go. Now, Defensive Totem, Offensive Totem. Make sure we're meleeing, which I should have done at the start. And then we go into the AoE with Molten Blast, generating high threat. Which one do I not have threat on? This guy's one of the little ones. But, yeah, there you go. Give me 2 seconds. I mean, jeez, I'm not even meleeing. Should probably pay more attention to what I'm doing than what I'm saying, but I mean, it's like you give me 2 seconds and I can group it up for you and then you can blast it down. That's how tanking works. Alright, not getting that chest. Do a quick drink. And then he rolled a 79, but then he said pass? What? Okay. I guess I'm gonna grab it because that was the next highest roll. Fine by me, I suppose, although my bags are full and we're in combat, so there goes that idea. These guys are just going to be impatient. What am I going to destroy to make room? Probably these mushrooms. Is that an upgrade? Yes, slightly, so destroy that, take the cape, put the cape on. Destroy the mushrooms, and come on, just give me a second here. AoE hits. Oh, God, I resisted again. That happens a lot. Alright. So yeah, I haven't really been doing the rotation the way it's kind of supposed to go, just because I feel like I'm scrambling the whole time, but let's see here. So start off with Flame Shock, AoE hit, Defensive Totem, Offensive Totem. I should be meleeing this whole time. Need to taunt that guy back. That's fine. Let's get him back. Keep doing Molten Blast. Need to be doing Flame Shock off cooldown for Molten Blast resets. Keep Molten Blasting. Should taunt that one. Yeah, there we go. Armor of the Fang. Strength and Spirit. I assume I am needing that. God, what am I going to destroy for it, though? Ah, God, I always have this problem. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. What are we doing? We're wasting time. Definitely going to take that. That set is pretty good. It's kind of more for healers, I think, but what is it? The 2 set that gives, like, attack power? Let's get the interrupt on this guy. Oh, God, I don't want all that. No, we got it anyway, so let's get totems down. Here they come. Taunt Totem going down. I am in trouble. And I am dead. That was probably my fault. I didn't really get a heal for a full 8 seconds, so yeah, I probably would have been fine with a couple heals there. I didn't want to pull all that. I was debating it, but in the process of trying to not pull all of it, I ended up pulling the other 2 anyway and just eating those lightning bolts to the face. Oh God, come on, keep the priest alive. Keep the priest alive, he can res us. No, priest. Run. Everything's so low. Yeah, there's the set, so the stabs and the healing done are not very good. The nature spells and effects is decent. I mean, Earth Shock is nature damage anyway. So, plus 2 strength and 7 spirit and more armor, I think is going to make that an upgrade. The Agi is nice on the one that I have equipped, as is the stamina, but I think the extra armor is probably going to be worth it, so we're going to throw that on real quick. Alrighty, thank you very much. And throw that on. Let's just throw one of these armor kits on real quick. And make sure we put our rune on. Going to be very important. There we go. Let's get rebuffed. Healer's going to need to drink for a minute here, so I will drink while he drinks. And then we'll go do the next pull. Alright. Oh, there's a Serpent Bloom here too. Let me just grab that. Probably not going to end up with a whole 10 this run. If I was paying more attention, I'm sure there would have been enough, but... Alright, so what do we got here? Just 2 mobs, looks like. Should be easy. Start on that one, interrupt in this one. Get resisted again. Am I missing something? Like, is that just really unlucky, or... Let's get an offensive totem down. I really don't feel like I need to spend the mana on the Stone Skin totem, because this healer is pretty good at keeping me alive, and I am getting a decent amount of blocks here, so I'll save the mana there. All that's done. Let's start thinking about what I'm going to destroy to create inventory space later. That medium hide I'm going to want to save. I just have so many quest items and shaman totems and random crap in my inventory, but God, get resisted again. Definitely need to get some hit rating somewhere. Got the interrupt on that guy. Let's see if I can LOS this guy and just get it all grouped up. I need to taunt this guy. Hey, there we go. We actually got it grouped up. Defensive totem down, offensive totem down. Make sure we are meleeing. We are. Everything's immune to fire now. Don't have to throw on this guy. Now we do. Getting blocks, getting mana back, keeping it grouped up in a nice pile. Can't do fire damage to that guy still. So just going to focus on these. Make sure we keep our Flame Shock up for our Molten Blast resets. This guy changed, now he's blue, now we can do fire damage to him. And there we go. Nice little healing mace for somebody there. Going to greet it. Might as well just drink this milk, since I need to clear up some inventory space anyway. And these guys gonna once again run ahead, which I do not blame them for, because I am slow and that is boring. We're going this way, I guess. I'm following them at this point, so oof, level 21, this is gonna suck. I need to be careful here for sure. Gonna be hard to get this lightning bolt cast off. Probably should have just ran to it, but yeah, missed the taunt. Got threat back with Molten Blast, which is nice. Now I just need to taunt that one, beautiful, and then just keep smacking to keep threat, which should be good. Yep, lost threat at the end there, but it's about dead, so that's fine. Alright, gonna get these two. I need these for a quest, so. Plus, this all gives good experience. I'm sure the mage, I don't even know why the mage is in here. He must need something. I don't know what, though. So he's level 25, so he probably just wants to go right for the thing that he needs. He probably does not enjoy all the detours for extra mob experience and quests and reskinning and all that kind of stuff, but he's going to have to deal with it. Lost threat on that one. You know, it's really nice having Earth Shock as a taunt, but the fact that you have to be in melee range, you have to be, like, really quick. Like, as soon as you lose threat, you gotta be ready to taunt. Otherwise, you have to run after it and chase it down, which is quite annoying, but let's see if we can group this up. That guy evaded. Let's just do Molten Blast for an AoE hit. Let's get our defensive totem down, offensive totem down. Let's hope we start getting heals, and we need to get blocks in for mana, and then I could taunt that guy back. That's just all gonna melt anyway. Taunt this guy. God, I'm really bad at keeping my melee up, huh? That needs to become way more habitual. So that is a lot of my damage. I think if you look at overall, yeah, it's my second highest damage by a large margin, so... And that's even with me, like, not meleeing as much as I should. So imagine if I was meleeing as much as I should, it would be a lot higher. Not higher than Molten Blast, but... Alright, gonna do these two. Hopefully just these two. Let's interrupt that guy. Kite him back so we don't accidentally get the boss. Because I can see that Hunter and probably the healer want to drink before we do the boss. Yeah, if this guy could just pull him a little bit more. There you go. Get that interrupt there. I think that was on sleep too, which that's a great thing to kick. We'll just eat the lightning bolts. And smack this guy in the face. Sneaking a quick drink. Just about out of mana. And I guess the hunter's good. He's not drinking, so he probably doesn't need much mana. Get a new rock biter on, and let's do it. Don't get resisted. Group it up. Defensive totem, offensive totem. Make sure we're meleeing. Molten Blast off cooldown. Refresh Flame Shock. Right there. Looks like it does not have a pandemic range. Looks like it doesn't add the remaining duration in if you refresh early. Tail Spike, that is pretty nice. I think just the raw damage per second makes it better, plus the attack speed, right? I think I want that. No. Mogi gets it anyway, which is fine. Surprised he would need it at level 21, but good for him, I suppose. So let's get all this grouped up here. Kick this one. Again, resisted. Oh god, if you had just waited. Thankfully, I did end up hitting them with that Molten Blast, and then you see even just one Molten Blast, now they're stuck to me like glue. Like, we're good. I need that defensive totem down. I would love a heal here. Okay, there we go. I got a heal. That guy was just free casting on somebody else, but I'll do a quick roll for the chest, just because you never know what's in them. Don't want that mushroom, though. Everybody's just gonna I'm just gonna start opening it unless somebody else rolls. Oh, okay, I guess the hunter wants it. Jeez, alright, good luck. Is that an upgrade over what I got? No, it's not. Okay, I would have asked him for it if it was, but... Alright, here we go. We resisted the interrupt, so... Mage just gonna have threat. Taunt that one off at least. That one's dead, so I'm gonna bring it over to this one. He resisted the taunt again. Living bomb's going off. He's ripping threat on that one. Oh god, I got feared. Now I do need to loot this thing for my my quest, I think. Oh, no, that's a Druid of the Fang. I thought it was one of these guys. I do need this for my quest though, so I'm gonna just pull it over to the rest so they don't have to wait too long. I'm just gonna slow it so I'm not like eating hits in the back as I run. I should just strafe anyway so I don't get hit in the back. And I'm pretty low on mana, so this is kind of sketchy. Can we interrupt that? No. He resisted anyway. Just get flame shocks out so we can hopefully Molten Blast. I'd love to get a defensive totem down here. Do not have the mana to do so. Looking for blocks. Oh god. Oh god. This poor warrior has all the threat. So is the mage. I don't have enough mana to really get it back. I can taunt this one. That one's about to fall over. I do have threat on this one. I'm going to need to taunt right here. There we go. And then Molten Blast. I think it's all on me now. There's something on the warrior. This one. Alright. And now the mage ripped. I can taunt it though. There you go. And I guess it all works out. Gonna get another quick skin in here. These guys give medium leather, which I need a lot of. I think that's one of the ones for the quest, though. I know I'm being dumb and greedy, but I'm gonna pull that one into that one because we need this for the quest. A few of us do, 3 of us do, so I don't think they'll mind. So again, just gonna drop a slow totem so that it doesn't like rail me in the back as I'm running up here. These guys are just gonna solo this because they're tired of waiting, which is good enough. Shadow damage, cloth. Oh, that's a big crit. 108, that feels good. I'll just finish this one off. Again, should be using totems, but trying to kind of conserve mana just to keep the pacing up. So let's grab this one and pull it over here. If I can line of sight that guy over to here, we'll be good. See if I can get a taunt and an AoE hit on that one. Oh boy, we got lashers. Let's go with taunt totem and AoE Nova totem. Make sure meleeing and Molten Blast to get threat. Our Nova totem goes off, does big damage, gives us a good amount of threat. And I just lost threat on that one. And there we go. And inventory's full. What a surprise. Oh god. I don't even know what to get rid of. I guess the banana. Oh, somebody else looted it anyway. Alright, they're ready to go. They hate that I'm skinning. You hate that I'm skinning. It's wasting everybody's time. But we're doing it anyway. Let's get the interrupt. Gosh, am I missing something? Like, I swear almost every time I go for that interrupt on that first cast, it's just, like, resisted. I don't know if it's because it's a lower rank spell, if that's the thing, or if they have something where like their first cast is non-interruptible or what, but we need to get our rock biter back on. I don't have the mana to do so. Maybe I could ask this guy for water to slow him down for a second. I need a drink anyway. So we'll drink. At least it'll clear up a bag slot, I guess. While I'm drinking real quick, just gonna look through it. Anything that's like worth not a lot, I can put down here to destroy if I find something that's worth more, since I'm just vendoring all this stuff for the most part. And anything that I want to keep, I want up in these top bags. I think we skipped something if we're already going up to the other guy, right? Oh, no, I guess not. Because it's just Serpentis is up here and then the last boss. We missed a Dread Fang and a couple Ravagers. I can get those on subsequent runs or potentially during the escort at the end. Let's get the interrupt. See, he resisted again. I swear. It's like, was that every time? That's what it feels like. Get our offensive and defensive totems down. Keep Molten Blasting. I guess I can leave these two. Again, I'm sure that these... Why am I not meleeing? I'm sure that these higher level guys don't care about killing them. Okay, maybe they do because they just pulled them, but... So let's get over here. Maybe they want the Serpent Bloom. Joke's on them, I'm gonna steal it. These mushrooms need to get rid of. Inventory is full, so I cannot skin that guy. This guy will skin or loot for me, and then I can skin. Alright. So... just looking through the quests here. So basically just like this, and then the last boss, which I am really afraid of, just like getting absolutely trucked by. You know, going into this was like my biggest concern was this last boss, because he just slaps. With this group, I think we'll be fine, because honestly, even if I die, I think the mage could like almost solo him just by kiting, but beyond that, I'm a little worried. So these mobs are not linked to the boss. I could do them separate, but again, with this group, I think everybody's good to go, so let's just go ahead and do it all together. Grab this guy, see if we can interrupt him. Yes, we get an interrupt so that we can pull him over, except he's immediately casting again, which is not great. So let's kick this guy, keep our flame shocks up, group it all up right here for big damage. Gotta taunt the boss back, got it, he resisted. Just get totems down and just keep Molten Blasting, maintain threat. Maybe I can rip Serpentis back. Try the taunt. Looks like that worked. Lost the Venom Wing. That is not a good drop for me. Not a lot of good drops this round. There's some good blue items in here. The weapon I was really hoping for. Some of the Fang gear, but not this time. Alright, I need this gem for the quest. Getting rid of, I guess, light feathers. Get that. Okay. Now for the fun part. So... this guy slaps. I'm going to make sure everybody has mana. Use my last mage water there. And we're just going to see how it goes, basically. So, yeah, this hunter needs the bow. There's this Venom Strike. I was hoping for this Stinging Viper. It would be really nice to use next level. Just for damage and threat. Shield, too, would be really nice. So, we're going to run it back after this, but... alright, pray for me because this is going to hurt. Immediately defensive totem. That priest's bubble just got eaten right through. Oh yeah, I'm probably just going to need to go straight into kiting. Lost threat. Taunt it back. I have threat. And I'm good. This priest is healing the hell out of me. Those bubbles help a lot. Lost threat to the mage. And there you go, wow. Alright, so... that was not as bad as I thought. Honestly, the warrior pulling threat for like a second there. What is that? Oh, the priest needed that. Good for you, priest. Yeah, the warrior pulling threat for a second there actually helped because it gave the priest a second to catch up, get caught back up. See if this guy will help me kill this thing for the quest. And we'll go do the escort. Guess he's just gonna watch me. come on. Fall over. There he goes. Alright, no quest item. Oh well. Yeah, that's a nice ring. Let's get a rock biter on. Let's jump in the hole here. And let's head to the escort quest. Yeah, looks like they're cleaning up some of the last things we need for the quest as well. I'll turn this quest in. Get that staff. It's a nice staff, unfortunately. I don't really need it if I'm going to be tanking. Good sword too, but Shamans don't use swords. Just going to melt this guy as much as I can. There we go. One more quest item. And I think we're good now to go to the escort quest. So, alright, I mean, I'll do like a full recap at the end, but, you know, you can kind of see what the Shaman Tank can do a little bit, I guess. I mean, if this group didn't have, you know, these pumpers in it, these somewhat impatient pumpers, then I'd do a lot better job at grouping everything up and holding threat. That's the biggest thing, which I'm sure has been painful to watch, is just like me running into things, casting a spell, and then not attacking right away. I don't know why it's like in my head. I guess it's just like, you know, retail brain where, you know, you cast a spell and you're technically automatically auto-attacking it. Here you have to manually trigger. You have to either right-click on the enemy or manually hit like your attack keybind, which I keep forgetting to do, so I'm missing out on a lot of threat, you know, and a lot of damage that way. But part of it too is I'm literally just like, I need like 4 GCDs basically, like Flame Shock, run into Molten Blast, do my 2 totems, and then everything's like grouped up and I just keep Molten Blasting. But if I don't even get those 4 GCDs, then I'm just like running around scrambling, trying to get threat back on everything, throwing out earth shocks, like losing my mind. So, you know, clearly I'm old and washed up, and that doesn't help either. So I'm sure a lot of this has been painful to watch, but doing my best to kind of narrate everything that's going on as I do it, which is not the easiest thing in the world, at least for me. But you know, it's a decent tanking class, I would say. Certainly at a higher level, be a lot easier, you know, to just run in and just throw out a Molten Blast and be good, not have to worry about losing threat right off the rip like that, probably. But wow, did someone say? No, nobody said. Alright, but just the escort quest now, so might as well put a lightning shield on and refresh Rock Biter. Here comes the Raptors. There we go. Get our shock out. Get our Molten Blast out. Molten Blast refresh, or reset. So do it again. Keep Flame Shocking. We are actually meleeing. Amazing. Just throw out a big Earth Shock just for damage. Again, you can see the damage is pretty good, like, for a tank. You know, when I have to run around and get threat on everything, it's not, but if I'm able to actually just group everything up and blast it, it's not bad. So, long escort quest here. I gotta wait for this guy to walk up. I think we get some more that spawn when he gets to right about here? Here? Somewhere? I know there's some up here, but he's gonna be walking for a minute. More than a minute in total, but here he comes, very slowly, doing the RP walk. Excuse me. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, there's literal RP walk speed, just so slow. But he is making his way. And hopefully we can get a good pull here, where you can see what a Shaman Tank actually is supposed to do for the first time in this whole dungeon. So here they come. Sometime in the near future, I promise. There we go. Alright. Quickly, Molten Blast. Just trying to line it up so I can hit multiple targets with the Molten Blast. When they're spread out like that, I can, but It's on us now, so let's get it grouped up, get our totems down, keep molten blasting, make sure we're meleeing. Throw out Earth Shock, because we can get a chance to drink after. And a lot of poison, so why don't we just cure that. And make everything melt. There you go. Alright, gonna skin and drink while he runs ahead again here for another hour. Good medium leather. I would love to skin this guy, but gotta do that first. There we go. I could... Nah, I can't do anything. I was gonna see if I could convert some of this leather over. I could turn the medium leather, or sorry, the light leather into the medium leather, but that's not gonna actually save me any space. So, we're just chilling. Getting nice hits on snakes as we wait for this guy who takes forever. Oh, a serpent bloom over there. So let's ignore all of our tanking responsibilities and selfishly go complete our quest objective. There we go. Now I did not clear this stuff at the start, kind of intentionally, knowing that we would fight it here. Hopefully it's not too much. I think we'll be fine, but yeah, I do agree with this mage. We should probably get started on it now, so that we don't have to fight it like all at once, but get it grouped up, get our totems down. We're gonna get some new ones coming in soon here. We are meleeing, doing Molten Blast off cooldown, maintaining Flame Shock with our totems down. That is how the rotation should look. There's the ones in the back that I was not paying attention to. I thought they were going to come from in front of me. We get the interrupt and the taunt on that guy. Let's get the Guardian. Taunt that. Molten Blast. Hopefully we have threat on everything. We can maintain it. We do not have threat on this one. I guess we do. Alright, we're good. What do I not have threat on? Nothing. Alright, that worked out. Nope. Nope. Come here. Taunt him. Dot him, Molten Blast him, try to skin in the middle of combat. And again, we're not meleeing, man. I need like a huge giant weak ore in the middle of my screen because I'm clearly way too dense to remember to do that. Not something I usually have a problem with. It's just trying to talk about what I'm doing at the same time. My little pea brain cannot handle it, apparently. Cannot walk and chew gum, but missing a lot of damage from doing that. Still decent overall. I mean, you know, pretty low, but for a level 18 tank, you know, compared to a 25 mage, you know, or a 21 hunter, it's not bad, I don't think. So here comes the gauntlet event. Gonna have to wait a minute for a bunch of little enemies to spawn in here. Let's get them resisted. Taunted that one. Should have good threat on that guy now. I want to get a head start on these other ones. Let's get our totems down here. Kind of have them funnel in, hit them with Molten Blast. I think we're good now. So yeah, again, if I just get it grouped up, get a couple hits on it, and we can maintain threat. We're getting lots of shield blocks, which is giving us mana, increasing our armor. I lose threat at the end because we're talking, but you know, it's not bad. Snag some more leather here. Yep, I had a feeling that was about to happen. So I guess goodbye bolt of linen cloth. Hello, stack of medium leather. Can go somewhere up here. And get the next group coming in. All these ectoplasm guys. Oh, these drop the thing for the quest. That's pretty cool. It's kind of scary. There's a lot of them. Let's get the taunt totem down and the AoE fire totem down. See if we can't get some threat that way. Nope, mage is gonna flame strike. Yeah, that's immediately gonna give him all the threat. But it's also just gonna melt it all, so should work out. Let's see what we can do to get that last one. That is mail. I cannot use that. Should probably drink. I think the... Oh, I'm out of water. Duh. Drink this. I think the boss is next. What's his name? Mutinous the Devourer spawns right here. Yep. Here it comes. Let's see if... Oh, spawn over there. Alright, and everybody's already going, so... I'm just going to get a dot on him, go ahead and taunt, make sure we're meleeing. Resisted the taunt. This poor warrior's getting trucked, but... Again, if he's going to charge in before I'm even there, I don't have too much sympathy, so... Maybe just going to tank. I'm going to try my best to taunt. I get MC'd. That doesn't help. That just drops threat, huh? MC'd again, which just resets all threat. Thankfully, this mage can hard carry. Yeah, he's resisting everything, so...
I am awake at last.
Don't need that. Not sure what to do about these shoulders, because, like, obviously I don't have shoulders. So that's, like, great, because it gives me armor. It also restores health, which is, like, good for tanking, but they're cloth, and, like... I guess I should just be nice and give them to the priest that carried me, because I can make my own leather shoulders later. I can't even equip him for quite a few levels, and he can't... Yeah, I'm not going to take those. He can have them. Oh, man, I need the quest item. My inventory's full. Gosh. There we go. Okay, so that's the run. Probably not the best group to showcase what the Shaman Tank can do. I think most of this run was me just, like, being slow and skinning and holding everybody up and being really annoying and saying stuff that nobody cares about, and probably just ruining whatever value this footage had. May or may not have had, but was a run nonetheless, and hopefully you got to see a little bit about what the Shaman Tank can do. I do think it's a very fun tank spec. If you can get everything grouped up, you know, and just AoE it with Molten Blast, you can do quite good damage. You also have the option to, like, Fire Nova Totem with the AoE Taunt, you know, can be really big damage on big pulls. And you have quite a bit of utility, you know, you can slow things if you have to run away. You can buff your whole group if you have a lot of melee players with the Strength of Earth Totem. You know, Purge. I didn't use Berserking one time this whole run, which I should have been doing. The Cleanse Poison definitely came in handy, though. But you'll take a look at overall. Obviously, level 25 Fire Mage, just hard carrying the damage. Hunter, level 21 Hunter, obviously doing quite well. And then the Warrior at level 19, and me at level 18, right there. Priest getting a little bit of damage in to speed things up. That's nice to see. You can see the vast majority of our damage is that Molten Blast. That's why it's just so important if you can just get everything grouped up and faced correctly so that your Molten Blast hits all the targets, or up to 4 targets anyway. Then it does do quite a lot of damage. Our attack damage should have been higher if we weren't so bad at remembering to turn our attack on. You know, Flame Shock ticking, doing a decent amount. It's mostly just rank 1 Earth Shocking for interrupts and taunts, so not a lot of damage from that. I think the Fire Nova Totem we only used 2 or 3 times, and it still did, you know, decent amount of damage. So, Lightning Shield we could have maintained a lot more, but it just, you know, drains mana. So I'm not, like, refreshing it every time it falls off, because it's just too much of a burden on mana. But that's the breakdown for the Shaman Tank damage. We did not do any healing that run. We did get some Dispels in, which helps, but we didn't have to actually cast any healing waves, which is our only heal anyway. But, yeah, that's all for the run. So here's the runes. Right there. There's the talents. Right there. The next talents are going to go 1 here, 5 here into dodge, and then 1 into flurry will be the capstone, you know, level 25 talent. Here's the gear, in case you were curious. Just go over that real quick. The main hand and the shield that we got during this run, as well as the chest. And that's it. So, contemplating if I even upload this. I just wanted, like, a good Wailing Caverns run where I was doing, like, some big pulls to show you that Shaman healers could do big pulls, but kind of just got carried by some DPS there. So, not sure how much of a good viewing experience that makes for, but maybe me kind of talking through what's going on might be somewhat insightful for some people, perhaps. So, if you are listening to this for some strange reason, then I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and have a good one. Peace.